Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sometimes we think that government's role is to save the world. And when I was in small business, people would say that there was a joke, I'm from the government, I'm here to help you. And you know what I hear from small businessmen all across and women all across the country right now is, please don't help us anymore. Why are they saying that? Because over the years, Congress has amassed a huge amount of regulation, and those regulations have been put on the backs of businesses all across our country. And today we're here to put another huge, big mountain on top of the financial markets, the capital markets, the very markets that our small businesses depend on for capital, in the name of trying to help them. And I would tell you tonight, we're going to hurt them. We're going to cause people to lose their jobs because of this bill. In fact, a recent study at the University of Chicago and George Mason University estimated that passing this piece of legislation would reduce job growth by 4.3%. And you say, well, how can a consumer protection, how can a regulatory bill hurt small businesses? How can it cause job loss? Well, let's look at some of the provisions in here. We're going to have this new regulator that's going to determine what kind of financial products that banks and people that provide loans can hand out. So if I need a specialized loan that maybe has a little bit different terms than normal, my regulator, my lender is concerned that the regulator is going to look at that loan and say, you know what, you shouldn't be making those kinds of loans. And at a time when the President of the United States is even trying to look away to find some jobs, and we're all looking for all those jobs that supposedly this stimulus package created, but the truth of the matter is this will kill jobs. It'll also hurt small businesses' ability to get capital. Right now, we already hear that banks across the country are a little reluctant to loan money. Why are they reluctant to loan money? Because the regulators are clamping down on them. And now we're going to say to the regulators, you know what, you didn't clamp down hard enough. You didn't regulate enough, and so we're going to give you some new marching orders, and we're going to put this new massive regulation in place, and everybody thinks that's going to free up credit for small businesses to create jobs in America. It's not going to do that. The concern I have is that if we continue down this road of regulation, both in the financial markets, we're going to begin to limit the choices for these banks to provide financial products. The other thing that this bill does is it picks winners and losers again. Now, the distinguished chairman of the committee, who I have a great respect about, says that the taxpayers' money aren't involved in here. Maybe it's not tax money, but the consumers are going to pay for these bailouts. If you have an assessment and you assess an entity for bailing out its competitor, and how that makes sense, I don't know, and this assessment, who do you think is going to pay the additional cost that company is going to have to pay the assessment? The consumer is. And so what is this going to do to small businesses? It's going to raise the cost of capital. In fact, there's an estimate out there, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and others says this will raise borrowing costs almost 1.5% for people and small businesses and consumers. Now, how does that help the economy? It doesn't help the economy, and in fact, it puts a weight on the economy, and again, going to cause jobs to be lost in this country. And so the question is why are we here tonight? Why are we debating this bill? It's got a fancy title, says it's going to protect consumers and it's going to punish Wall Street. Well, really the issue is it doesn't punish Wall Street, because if you're a big entity, a big company, this bill says, hey, we got a way to prop you up, because we're going to get the Federal Reserve to imply that you are too big to fail, picking winners and losers. And then what that gives an unfair competitive advantage to these banks and other entities that aren't on the too big to fail list. So I encourage my colleagues to vote no on this piece of legislation. Now you back to the House.
The gentleman's time has expired.